What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. In this video, we are jumping into something a little bit new, coming from 20th Century Studios in association with Marvel Comics. This is Alien issue number 1, coming from writer Declan Shalvey. And in 2022, the multinational company known as Weyland-Yutani, they diverted their commercial towing vehicle, the Nostromo. They took it to the moon LV-695. They were answering a distress call, but secretly, they wished to secure specimens of a dangerous alien species known as Xenomorphs. Obviously, tragedy struck the crew. In 2179, a colony known as Hadley's Hope, built on LV-695, was overrun by Xenomorphs. All rescue attempts have failed. Now the year is 2192. 73 years later, Weyland-Yutani has covered up most of its deadly tracks, but it was only a matter of time before the Xenomorphs decided to surface again. And to fully understand everything that is going on, the latest updates that they have given us, the human race's colonization efforts are expanding exponentially. The demand for quality sources of water has hit an all-time high. This means companies have jumped on this vacuum of need, taking advantage of a gold mine of monetary profits. We have Talbot Engineering Incorporated. They have secured the exclusive water reclamation rights to the ice moon LV-695. But this ice moon, it's going to hold a lot more than they had anticipated. Now, make sure you guys have subscribed to the channel, make sure that you like this video, and with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright gang, so our story starts us off on the ice moon LV-695. We have Dayton and we have Zasha. They have been drilling into the ice. They have been trying to find very suitable sources of water. Sending Zasha down here, she begins to knock away at the ice. We are quickly learning that Zasha is Dayton's daughter, but they have been here for 5 years, and they have not found any signs of water that is sufficient enough to be able to use, that would be profitable. As this young girl begins to hack away at the ice with her ice pick, she hits some kind of deposit, and we see her ice pick. It almost completely disintegrates. A green goo on the ice pick that seems to be making it melt. And this is when she sees it. Some kind of life form that she is completely unfamiliar with. We know this to be a face sucker. This is what takes us to the mother, but also Dr. Batya Zahn. She is the chief scientist assigned to this glacier. We are currently hearing her giving a report back to their higher-ups. The problem is, she's not even sure if they're listening anymore. It has been roughly 6 weeks since there has been any communication. But she knows that this work is important. Not to mention that they were supposed to be relieved 5 months ago. She is also currently pregnant, which means relief needs to happen, and it needs to happen soon. But they are unable to leave this planet because their launch pad, it is completely frozen over. That means their ship is stuck in the ice. While she sends up her report, we have young Zasha who is putting this face hugger into a bag, bringing her back up to the surface. Her father sees this monstrosity, this alien-like figure in the ice. Not sure what this is yet. They do the scans and they send it up to Batya. Now Dayton, he is the first one to say, I'm not sure that we should bring this thing back. I think we should put it right back where we found it. Our job here is to collect water. It has nothing to do with this. If we are gonna keep it, he thinks that they should probably incinerate this thing. But this is a new discovery, something that might even help them get off of this hellhole of a rock. But they do agree to let him contain it and throw it into cold storage, with Batya sending up a report of her findings. Even though nobody has replied in weeks, she still sends out the report, hoping maybe, just maybe, this might get them out of here. That is when we pick up 2 weeks later. She is letting the rest of the family know that she sent up a report 2 weeks earlier, but she also didn't mention it to them until right now. Dayton, in a fit of rage, he throws his food across the room. Dayton didn't want this thing in the camp to begin with, and now they're running it up the chain, something that none of them had even talked about. But Batya reminds him that this is her mission. She is the one that is in charge. While they are in a partnership, she doesn't technically have to run anything by him. She did this because she didn't trust them not to leave them stranded. If they have a new discovery, if they found something that may be worth some money, this might bring the company out here. That way they can get their relief and get off of this rock. She believed that this little monster was their ticket out of here, but she also says that her work here is classified. Outside of the main mission, there are things that she's simply not allowed to talk about. And right in the middle of this argument, that's when the ground begins to shake. Not really sure who this might be, not sure what this might be. As they look out the window, he tells Zasha to activate the lockdowns. This will buy them just a little bit of time, because outside coming in is a Weyland-Yutani ship. Not sure what they want or why they are here. We see the ship dock and soldiers begin to pile out. As they begin securing the base, we have Wendell Thean who shows up. He has been sent here because he is meant to deliver some news. He is here to let them know that Weyland had bought out their company. Very recently, everything that was theirs has become Weyland-Yutani. Obviously, everybody at this table aren't really okay with this. Weyland-Yutani, they have a very bad name stuck to them. After all of these years, there are many people that just simply don't trust the corporation. But this deal became solidified roughly 4 days ago. And what he wants is to be escorted to the lab. This is when Dayton grabs this dude and he shoves his face into the table. He is absolutely livid that Weyland is taking over. But the guards, they quickly hit him in the back of the head with a gun. He gets thrown into the brig on the Weyland ship, while the rest of them lead the way to the science lab. But Zasha, she seems to have disappeared. In all the commotion, she had made a getaway. Being able to sneak through the system, she is able to grab her bag and she gets out of here. But not before defrosting the facehugger. Maybe in an effort to get rid of the specimen completely, to not allow them to have something like this in their hands. While she doesn't fully understand what this little monster is just yet, this was their discovery, and if Weyland is here to take it, she is trying to really attempt to destroy the specimen. But this guy from Weyland-Yutani is saying that he knows there is something more out there. They had intercepted the message that she had sent out to her corporation. The higher-ups at Weyland-Yutani were so interested that they bought this entire company out. And so there's no point in lying about this or trying to avoid the topic. Batya has information that is valuable to the company, and so he is offering a lifeline to her and her family. This is where she says that maybe they can help one another. They have been out here looking for water reserves for months. After digging and digging and digging and never finding anything, they finally found something interesting. The recent sample, which has very unique reproductive qualities. This is something that is capable of life. Maybe something that could be studied and save lives. She has heard the rumors brewing out of Epsilon Station. Something about Project Alpha. She believes that they have something similar. And if she is right about Alpha, what they have is very valuable. Something that can help her family get all of them off of this frozen wasteland. So what she is asking this guy is, what is it worth? What if we crack this thing open and see what's inside of it? What could possibly go wrong with that? As we get this dialogue, we see that the Xenomorphs are slowly being able to break free of the ice. Because that facehugger that they grabbed, that was only the surface of what lies underneath. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Definitely a fun issue number 1. Very interesting. A fun little horror story that is starting off. And I'm not one to usually cover horror comics, let alone liking horror movies to begin with. I think they're usually mostly played out over the last 20 years, but the Alien Predator stories are some of my favorites, only because they are ever growing and ever expanding. It's usually the same template over and over and over again, but there really is a lot of lore to it. There's so much more that we don't understand about Xenomorphs. And with each new little series of comics that we get, we learn just this much more about them, of what they are capable of their evolution, of their adaptations. And the one thing that I have always very much enjoyed about Alien and the Alien comics is that yes, Xenomorphs are the big scary bad guy in this. But if you read deeper, Weyland-Yutani is always the bad guy. At the heart of all the problems is the corporations, their need for more, their greed, their lust for power. All of these things come into play. It says a lot more about the human condition than it does about Xenomorphs. And I think that's one of the things that have made Alien one of the most interesting stories of the last couple of decades. With this story just starting off, I am very excited to see where this 5-part series is going to lead us. But I think it's fair we can all assume that nobody is going to make it off this rock. Let me know your thoughts, let me know your theories. If you would like to get completely caught up on everything going on with this story, be sure to check out some of the previous work we have done with Alien and Predator. You can check that out in the link in my description as well as the top of this video. If you would like to support the channel, you can always do so by joining the channel membership. Much like Patreon, having multiple different tiers, from $1 to $50, from loyalty badges to getting comics every single month. Not only does this help out the channel tremendously, but you are getting tons of perks in the process. If you are unable to do this, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like this video, hit that notification bell, and with that being said, until the next breakdown.